want half. I want just half your talent. Please, just give it to me.
Honestly, you should try. I mean,
all right. So how we doing this? I was gonna say this morning. This evening. Woo! All right. It's a pretty good turnout. I'm down with it. Y'all, who is following us on social media? Please follow us on social media. All right. I've told you guys this last year. I'm telling you this year too. When Joey goes to bed with no new followers on the social media account, he cries hard. All right.
Yeah.
There was one. I love you. Like one person. All right. One person. Cool. Y'all. Social media.
Okay.
Instagram. Church Center. Definitely do that. Okay. Follow us on Church Center. You don't even need to follow us. Just be on the app. True. Right. Just do it. Okay. Little housekeeping. Clean up after yourselves.
True.
You all left week. There was a Snickers wrapper over there. There was like a Reese's Pieces thing over there, and like candy and stuff. Y'all. I don't go to your house and leave wrappers on your floor. Don't do it here.
Yeah.
All right. It's an example. It's not my house, but it's an example.
Exactly.
It's an example. All right. Who here? I got a big announcement.
Ooh.
Everybody.
Big announcement.
I want to hear everybody. Come on. I ain't saying nothing until everybody doing this. All right.
Oh. What that thing is?
Y'all ready for some information on camp? All right.
Wait. That's next week.
Next week?
Next week.
Man, I thought it was this week.
You have to show it next week.
Next week? All right.
To get it.
Next week.
I'm
No.
I'm not the bad guy.
Don't boo him.
Okay?
Don't boo him. Don't boo him. It's me.
Just because I do bad doesn't make me a bad guy.
It's not Joey. It's me.
You know what I mean?
And on the
exactly.
no, it was Joey. It's all Joey.
We're trying our best here.
So
You know what I mean?
definitely show up. That
For
camp.
sure.
It is happening. It is TBD. All right.
Yes.
Got to be here to get that jump start. All right.
True.
And there's a mouse on your shoulder.
It's true.
That's really distracting. I'm
chilling.
sorry.
Just
Squirrel.
chilling. Mouse
All right.
chilling.
Hey, let's play a game. Joey's got the first game, y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, listen, y'all. I need a competitive person, because listen, okay? We're playing a game that I made up last night out of this brain that just is filled with so much information and smartness. And you know what I called it? Suck it up and go! See, that's what I'm talking about. See, okay, so here's the thing, okay? We got some supplies right here we're going to be using right here, okay? I need 2 people. Two people.
I want over here. All right.
Graceland, I'm going to need you to choose somebody.
Mike, you
I
pick.
need you to choose somebody.
Who? I don't know.
What do you think, Graceland?
One of these
I
two
trust
right
your
here.
opinion.
Y'all, rock, paper, scissors, right now. Come on. There, you got it. Come on up. All right. The mic has spoken. All right. Come on up here.
Oh my goodness. All right. Where's my 2 people? Where my 2 people at?
I got one over here.
That's one.
I got one, Mike.
Okay.
Mike spoke over here. All right.
Okay.
I told him to come on stage. Is that cool?
All right. That's cool. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to need you to take that, and I'm going to need you to take this. This is super important to the game. So, super important. Don't question it. Just, if you wouldn't mind, just putting that on right there. It's super important to the game.
You gotta put it
on. Don't question it. I'm already losing ping pong balls. Listen. Okay. I know.
Get it together.
Everybody boo this man. I know. I'm the worst. Listen, this game is called Suck It Up and Go. And here's why.
Yeah, y'all need to suck it up.
Some of these ping pong balls right here. Okay? I'm gonna lay out some of these ping pong balls right here. And what you're gonna do, each of you have 45 seconds to take your individual straw. We're gonna call it a straw today, because you're going to suck this ping pong ball up into it like this. And you gotta bring it over there. You got 45 seconds to get as many as you possibly can. Now don't worry. I'll flip it to the other side. You don't have to use the one that was on my mouth. Don't worry, okay? Can I get my contestants right over here? Can I get a light pad of extreme music, please? I'm gonna need some. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna find out where that one was. If y'all just want to come down here real quick, make sure the hat is on.
Down there.
The hat is very important to the game. If y'all just want to come down here, okay? Listen, you're gonna have. Look, guys, look how beautiful they look. Everybody give it up for them wearing the hats.
Hey, what are their names? Ask them their names. For those of us who don't know.
What's your name?
I don't know.
Give it up for I don't know! It's hard to remember things sometimes. What's your name?
Aslan.
Aslan, everybody give it for Aslan! All right, I'm gonna need y'all to quickly rock, paper, scissors to see who's going first.
Oh.
Okay, who's going first?
You pick.
All right,
You going
so you
first?
understand what you're doing. You're gonna suck it up, you have to run all the way over here, all right? And if it falls, you can pick it back up, but you can't use your hands, you can't kick it. It has to be suction cupped through your straw, and it has to be in here. Let me take this one out so you don't get an extra field. You have 45 seconds to get as many as possible, okay? And if you win, you have the possibility of winning one of those Lego sets and one of those sets of lollipops. So, there's a lot on the line here. So is everybody ready? Everybody ready? You ready? Be sure to cheer them on, all right? You got 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go! Go! Remember to cheer them on, come on!
That's one. No. Oh, he's fumbling.
You got it.
He can't get it. Oh, he got one.
Go. Okay, that's 3, okay. You got 30 seconds left, 30 seconds.
That fumble may cost him
Interesting
the
tactic,
game.
I like that.
Do not mess up.
All right.
He's messing up.
All right. You got 20 seconds. Come on, keep on go. Fast as you can. Come on, go.
I think I really messed up.
Come on. Cheer for him, come on. Give him some back, come on.
He can't suck if he's laughing. Make
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
How many did you get? All right, let me look.
Let's say if we could get a number.
We got no. You're gonna cheat.
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3. I got 6.
6.
Total. All right, that ain't bad.
Okay, give it up for my man right here. Yeah. All right. So we got your count over there?
Yeah, let's
all
do
right.
it.
I'll push these together because they were thrown around a little bit.
Here.
You know what I mean? Don't want any unfairness. You know
Just
what I mean?
so that it's fair.
Just a little.
Give me that.
All right. Are you feeling prepared? Do you think you can beat that? He got 6. Do you think you can beat 6?
You need 7.
I can beat 6.
She says she can beat 6. All right, we're going to find out. Ready? All right. You have 45 seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Go. Cheer on. Come on.
That's one.
That's 1. Yeah. Okay. It's all about focus.
Oh, that second one.
You got it. You got 35 seconds. Come on.
You need.
Pull up in my Nikes. Yeah. Hey.
Look at
Come on,
the
you got it.
precision.
Go.
The precision is uncanny.
Go. Don't worry about the hat. Just keep going. Come on. Cheer on. Come on, y'all. Come on, ladies. 15 seconds. You got it. You got it. Oh.
It didn't go in.
It didn't go in. It's all right.
You can pick it up and put it back in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dang. I think you did well. You know what I mean? You lost the party hat. It happens. Sometimes the party has to end like Billie Eilish said, okay? Listen, the great theologian Billie Eilish. How many, Stephen?
Well,
did she get?
It was more than 4, but it was less than 6. It was 5.
Dang!
5. She didn't quite make it, unfortunately.
Hey, that's good sportsmanship.
But
now the question is, my good sir, which one are you choosing? Oh, is that
No, don't take the Lego.
You want those or do you want the other 2?
Lego or the
Because you get both. You get both.
Legos last a lifetime.
Because you can get both, or you can get the other 2.
She got what she wanted.
Yeah.
She got what she wanted. All right.
There we go.
Cool. Everybody
Give it up for both of them.
A round of applause.
So good.
All right. For this next game, here's what I like to do. All right. I like people that aren't afraid to get laughed at a little bit, probably. Okay. But I don't like telling you what the games are because what's the fun in that? Okay. Now I need somebody who is like. She does have a rat. Have you ever been on stage before? Then you're coming up on stage. Yeah. You're standing up pretty tall. We got one over there. One over here.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on stage before?
Oh.
Not whoa.
Oh.
Not really is not a yes or no. It's what? You've touched a stage? Get up here. All right. We got two people who have never been on the stage before. Give them a round of applause. Woo! Joey, I'm gonna need that mic. Get up here. Get up here. Y'all get up here. Y'all can sit down. You're fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody give it up for them. Woo! Yeah.
All right, come up here. We want to find out your name. We want to know your favorite color, your blood type, your social security number. Do you know your social security number? No? Bring it next week. All right, come up here. All right, what is your name?
Grace.
We got Grace. Everybody give it up for Grace. Woo! All right. And your name is?
AJ.
AJ, give it up for AJ. Okay, so here's what we got going on. All right. Over here, we have these little football-looking things. And in this are these little colored balls, all right? This game is called Ball Out. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so you guys are going to take this. You're going to strap it behind you. There you go. All right.
Here you go.
Got to put it on. Put it behind you. They are adjustable. Put it on there and cinch her down. Put it on there and cinch it down.
You know what I mean? No cheating. Don't let it fall out already.
You know how to loosen it? Already. She's trying to get a head start, y'all. You got it. You got it figured out.
There we go.
It's twisted.
Oh, I see that.
Here, undo it, and I'll straighten it back out for you.
Okay.
Just unclip it.
Oh, okay.
We like having fun
Boom.
here, students.
All right.
You know what I mean? We like having a good time. You know what I mean? Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah. All right,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And I'll hold that right there, and I'll give it a pull. Ready?
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Okay.
There we go.
Ready?
That's what I'm talking about.
So y'all are gonna have a minute, okay, to get as many of those colored ping pong balls out of your football/fanny pack looking thing. All right. Whoever gets the most in a minute, or whoever gets them all out first, is the winner. And here's what we're playing for. We got a giant thing of Starburst Pops.
Nice.
Or looks like more Legos because
It's Black Panther, guys. Wakanda
ages
forever.
5 to 99. There you go. So there we go.
Legos.
All right, are we ready? Are you ready? She's confident.
You guys got it?
Are you ready?
Yes.
She's ready. All right, we're gonna give them a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Okay.
Okay, that's one.
They are going.
Okay.
They're going everywhere. Got a minute. No, it ain't working. Ah, you got one. All right.
Okay. I like this strategy.
They're going everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
This from the game.
Okay.
Hey, we got one over here. What are we doing? All right,
Wow.
we got 15 seconds. How much time we got? This is tiring. This is tiring for me. I'm not even doing anything.
Okay. There's one more.
Oh, is that all of them? Are you done?
Yeah.
That's it.
She's out of them.
We got a winner.
Got it. Everybody give it up for her. Woo!
All right.
Hey, you were close though. You were close. I like the strategy. You know what I'm saying? I like the strategy. You know what I mean? It's all about.
They're going.
Wow.
This is a very messy game. All right.
I was
Grace,
about to say.
you get to pick what you want first. You can either go with the Legos, which is the Marvel Avengers themed, or the Starburst Pops.
What?
Oh! That's cold-blooded. She goes, I think she wants that, so I'll take the Legos. That's very nice. All right, you get these. Thank y'all.
When you know
Everybody
what you
give
want.
it up for our contestants.
Good job. Everybody give it up for the volunteers. Woo!
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, everybody stand up. Let's go ahead.
Stand up, everybody get ready for
Come on.
worship.
Check, check.
Everybody come to the front. We're a family. Gather. Gather. Yes.
Oh!
That was intense.
That was very intense.
She's here.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight? I need more. Woo! Are y'all ready to worship the Lord? Woo! Okay, let's get started. Praise and treasures that fade are never enough. than you, Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Let's sing this next song and remember how good God is. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hands. The moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in the darkest nights. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good.
been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Person in this room, and I pray that you really show them who you are and how holy you are, and that we can surrender fully to you, because you are everything good. You are everything good, you are everything pure, and you are everything holy. And we should worship you no matter what, because you will always be there for us. No matter things go in our way and we feel like people abandon us, you will never abandon us, you will never leave us, you will never forsake us. We can truly trust in you and know that you are Lord and you are our Savior. And there's nothing that's going to be bigger than that. And I want to pray for this sermon tonight, that it speaks into everyone, that you speak your word and who you are into these people's lives, and that they can just follow you every day and surrender to you fully. In name pray, amen.
Yes. All right. I love a new series. I love it because we know what's coming and you guys got zero idea. You probably walk in here just like, man, last week, New Year's service, Joey killed it. Everybody give it up for Joey. Who thought last week he did awesome? All right. But this week, we got something a little bit different. It's called Not Yet. All right. Because this is what I want you guys to think about. When you were a kid, or maybe even this morning, right? Have you ever remember being told not yet? Right? Like, okay, think about it like this. You ask your parents, like, Mom, can I have a snack when you're younger, shorter than you are now, shorter age, right? And they go, no, not yet. You'll spoil your supper. Y'all ever heard that? Okay, what about this? It was just Christmas. Hey, can I open up a present yet? And your parents go, no, not yet. It's Christmas Eve, which is 2 days before Christmas. All right, what about this? Can I stay out past midnight? Can I go to this thing? And your parents are like, no, you're 6. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not old enough to be doing that stuff. So if y'all weren't here Sunday, I'm going to fill you in, all right? I got a car on stage because I wanted to explain something to you. Not really. This is being used for Sunday morning, but I'm going to use it because I'm very opportunistic, all right? This is a great example of a not yet. Sam Martin, one of the pastors here, it wasn't the exact car, but it was very similar to this. This is his first car, all right? And he loved this car, and he got this car, and he thought that by getting this car, it was going to be just this whole new world of freedom for him. So he goes to his parents, Mom, Dad, hey, I'm going out. And they're just like, whoa, where do you think you're going? He's like, I'm going out. Like, I got my license, I got the car, I can do whatever I want. His parents go, not yet, you're not experienced enough. Right? And this is just something we talked about on Sunday. If you were here, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but it's a fantastic example, and it plays right into this series of not yet. And I want you guys to prepare yourself, all right? Because this is a phrase that you are going to be hearing quite a few times over the next several weeks. But hopefully this new series will get through your middle school and high school brains that this phrase, not yet, is not necessarily a bad thing. But waiting is frustrating, right? I know I've talked about it up here on the stage before, about waiting is frustrating, whether you're in a slow-moving line, right? Or you're in traffic and you're really anxious to get somewhere. Isn't that how it happens when you really want to go somewhere? Everybody else drives stupid, right? Maybe you're getting out of school, right? And you're waiting for your friend or family member to come pick you up, and you're waiting, and that's very frustrating. Or, all right, the person in your house, you're going somewhere, and this one person takes forever to get ready. All right, y'all know who I'm talking about? If you don't know who I'm talking about, I got some bad news. It's probably you, right? My daughter's over here, she's pointing at me. I am the fastest one to get ready in the house, let me tell you. We'll talk after service, all right? But what do you guys hate to wait for? Now, I love the participation. I love not just me up here talking. I want to hear from you guys a little bit too. What is something that you hate waiting for? Drives you mad?
My paycheck.
Your paycheck. That's a fantastic, like, I worked hard, all right? Uncle Sam's taking my taxes, right? I want my paycheck. That's when do you get paid?
Friday.
Where are we going? Lunch is on Graceland, all right? All right, over here. What do you hate waiting for? To get out. To get out of what? To get out of everything? To get out of school, because you just need something. You're one of those guys that you just need something to look forward to, right? Exactly. Yes. I just want to get out. All right. Over here. Anybody else? All right. I got to go. Your hand went up really fast. What do you hate to wait for? Oh my goodness. All right. For those of us who are listening online, she said Amazon orders, and everybody collectively goes, us too, right? We hate. Yeah, same day delivery. Yeah, right. More like the next day. I don't think I've ever had same day show up. But yes, okay, waiting, as we just talked about, is frustrating. When you ordered that thing that was on an Amazon flash sale or something, you want it now. You worked hard for your money. You want it now, and you just want to get out, right? But waiting is less impossible when we know what we're waiting for, when we know that it's going to be worth it in the end. That's when it's a little bit easier, whether it's your favorite roller coaster, right? I got a message from Jack Hearn. It was a couple nights ago. He loves roller coasters, right? When you're waiting for that line in the roller coaster, you know that when you get in the Top Thrill Dragster, it's going to launch you from 0 to 120 in 3.3 seconds, and you're just going to lose your mind. And that's just what it is. The Top Thrill Dragster is opening back up. All right? That's what he is excited for. What about this? All right? What about you're excited for your birthday? All right? Now, right now, y'all are excited, but when you get older, it becomes less exciting. But right now, right, your birthday comes around, and what happens? Stuff happens. There are parties and presents and cake, and just, you're kind of like the center of attention for a little bit, right? That's something that's fairly easy to wait for. All right, so for you guys specifically, what is something that is easy for you to wait for because you know at the end of it, it's going to be good? What? Oh, no, I am not repeating that. Chick-fil-A, yes, all right. That Chick-fil-A drive-thru that can somehow bust out like 55 people every 3 minutes, all right, you know it's going to be good at the end of that. What about over here? What is easy for you to wait for because that reward is so sweet? Your report card? You know what? Honestly, yes. When you know you're getting good grades on your report card, it's easy to wait for it because you know you ain't getting in trouble. All right, over here, there's only one hand up. I got to call on you.
Road trips to Indiana.
Road trips. Oh, because when you get there, you got stuff planned. You're going to have fun. You're going to see friends and family you haven't seen in a long time. Yes, great answer. Road trips. But at your age, all these things aside, it might feel like you're often being told, not yet. Right? Maybe you're waiting to get out of middle school, right? You're ready to go to the big leagues, ready to go to high school, right? Maybe you're ready to learn how to drive. Who here is like getting ready to drive? A lot of hands going up, all right? Mike's like, I'm getting ready. All right? What about graduate? Who here is within 2 years of graduating? 2 years. Graduating high school. Yeah, we got a lot of hands up here. That's really exciting. It can be hard to wait for that because, like, hey, am I graduating? Not yet. You still got a ways to go. Maybe get a job, all right? Unless you're Graceland over here making the big bucks, right, at that Starbucks, right? Yeah, that's why they have bucks in Starbucks, right? When you're making that big money at Starbucks, but you guys, hey, I want to make that money because it's a little bit of freedom. I don't have to ask my parents for everything. Maybe you're waiting to be allowed to date, right? Maybe you're waiting to move out of the house because you're so excited about college. Maybe you're excited to vote. All right, and you know what? And that's a good one. So I actually got a video up here I want to show you guys. Maybe.
Do you think
They're
kids should be able to vote?
Yes.
No. If they got a chance to vote, they might make a wrong choice. You have to grow up and think everything through before you start to vote.
Do you think you would make a good president?
I don't think right now, but probably in the future. Look, you can be the president because if you were the president, you'd have to you might not know how much work you get and how stressed you'd probably get because a bunch of people will be crowding around you and taking pictures, and you'll be really stressed because a bunch of cameras coming down at you, maybe even helicopters just taking pictures is very stressing.
How do you know all this?
Listening to the facts that are really important, and it's taught me a lot.
How old are you?
6. I think we're good.
Are you done here?
Yep.
All right, so they asked him, do you think kids should be allowed to vote? And he's just no, right? This kid's only 6, but he's got a lot of stuff figured out, right? He has a pretty wise approach to a lot of things that we all struggle with. See, we want the opportunities and we want to be able to do the things that we may not be ready for, right? Do you want to vote? Yes. Do you think you should vote? Absolutely not, right? That's exactly what this kid is saying. This is what we do when we have these required skills that we need to have in order to do something, right? For example, on Sunday morning, when Sam wanted to go out and drive his car and just go out because he got his license, why not? His parents said, no, you're not experienced enough, right? He got told, not yet. He wanted to do it, but he wasn't quite there yet. All right, it's not we're ever not going to get there because you're going to get the experience. You're going to be old enough. You're going to graduate. You're going to get that job, right? But living in the not yet is not always easy, especially during middle and high school. Which I don't know if you guys know this. You guys are in middle and high school right now. All right, this is where you guys are at right now. Life can kind of feel like a never-ending waiting game for you guys right here. You may feel like you're constantly waiting to get older. You're constantly waiting for the next thing, for your freedom, right? You're waiting for more clarity about your future. Right now, you might be thinking, man, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know what I want to go to school for. I don't know what I want to do as a career. But you know what? I'm going to figure it out later, right? So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the later. I'm excited for my future. So for the next few weeks, these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about, all right? We're going to be talking about questions, fears, frustrations, excitement, all right? And these are all things that thinking about our future can bring us. So when we think about the future, there are many reasons why we might feel a little bit frustrated about it, right? Anybody here get a little anxious when they think about the future because they don't know what's going on? There's some people in the back that are just I'm super anxious, right? For real, I get it, man. I get it, all right? See, maybe we continue to make the same mistakes we told ourselves we would never make again. And this is a really big one because we just talked about New Year resolutions a little bit, right? Maybe you're taking longer to develop a skill you thought you'd be able to get quicker. Maybe you're not sure how to make the progress in the areas where you want to do better. And I actually have a decent example about this. When I was in 7th grade, all right, I was going into 7th grade. So this is the summer between 6th grade and 7th grade. I was actually transitioning from homeschooling, which is where you go to school at your house, all right, for those of us who don't know. We go from homeschooling to actual public school, right? And I knew some kids who I was going to be going into school with, through the church. But I'm you know what? I really want to do a sport. They're okay, cool. We got all these sports. We got basketball. I'm I'm not very good at basketball. And if you've ever seen me play basketball in the parking lot, you know I'm not lying. All right. I'm what about dodgeball? We're that's not really an organized sport. I'm all right, well, okay, what is this? I'm looking at the paper. I'm what is cross country? And they're oh, you run. I'm I can run, right? So I show up to cross country practice, and I'm thinking, man, this is going easy, all right? And I go there, and I was informed of something. These other students who I was going to be going with, they had been running the entire summer, right? And I'm just kind of catching in at the very end right before school started. But I'm like, you know what? No big deal, all right? These people already know each other. I'll just be running with them, you know? And so I'm like, what you doing? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, cool. All right, we're stretching now. Cool, I got it. All right. I'm like, oh, and they just start running. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm running with you. And I was running. I was doing good, man. I'm like, I'm keeping up. And all of a sudden things started happening, right? There was sweat coming out of places that sweat doesn't usually come out of, right? I'm like, I'm starting to breathe heavy. Like, it was rough, all right? I was having a hard go at it. I thought I would be able to go in there and be able to hang out with these people, but they were already doing this a lot longer than I had, right? I was in a pretty tough spot. I was a little frustrated, right? I was frustrated because I didn't know that I had to show up months earlier. I didn't know that it was going to be so difficult. I didn't know I was going to hate running, right? It was rough, all right? It was really rough. But that was a moment where I was frustrated. And here's the thing. No matter how old you are, it is okay to occasionally be frustrated with your progress. Right? I was frustrated with how long it was taking me to get up to speed with these other guys. But there's so many things can come out of being frustrated, right? When you get frustrated, what happens? Sometimes that motivates you even more, right? It motivates you to work harder, but then when it still doesn't work, guess what? You get even more frustrated at yourself. Maybe you get to the point where you're like, I'm frustrated, you know what? I'm just gonna stop doing this. I'm just gonna change direction. I'm gonna do something completely different. Or maybe you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to quit altogether, right? I'm done. But whether we do this with our hobbies, right? You get frustrated with a hobby, like, oh, God, I keep getting a gutter ball in bowling. I'm done with bowling. I'm going to do something else, right? I'm going to play cornhole. Or maybe it's with training like it was with me in cross country. Maybe it's your grades. I keep trying to get good grades, but I just can't get anything better than a B, right? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe you don't have any close friends and you're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to have close friends. Or maybe it's your faith, and you just don't get what everybody else is talking about. You don't understand it. Like, hey, I know God's a thing, but like, I don't get it. Maybe that's one of the things you get frustrated with. And here's what we need to do. We need to figure out how to make progress when we are frustrated with ourselves. And as we're waiting in the not yet right now, see, we might find ourselves asking really big questions. Questions like, who am I? Like, really, like, have you ever thought to yourself, who am I? Like, yeah, okay, my name's Stephen, but like, when other people think of me, what do they think about? You know, those are the type of questions we might ask ourselves. What about this? What does my future hold? We kind of touched on this a little bit, and for some of us, we're just like, I don't know, right? Maybe I'm just going to go work at McDonald's, which is fine, but like, is that what I want? You know? What about this? What's my purpose? Like, what am I here for? And if that's you, you're probably going to find the book of Ecclesiastes very interesting for a number of reasons. So Ecclesiastes is a book of it's kind of like Psalms. It's lots of poems and stuff in here. And I actually took a poetry class in college, and I did not do well. But there's a lot of poetry in here. I know we have a lot of poets in the room today. But one of the things that the book of Ecclesiastes tries to touch on is probably one of the biggest questions ever. All right, not just in Christianity, but like really like ever. And it is this: what is the meaning of life? Now, the author of this book is a dude named King Solomon. And this cool cat lived about 3,000 years ago. And he is known for his incredible wisdom that God gave him. All right, so I've always said context is important. All right, if I tell you something and you don't understand the context, it's kind of lost. You know, it gets a little lost. So I'm going to read here from 1 Kings. This is right here is how King Solomon got his wisdom, all right? It says, so give your servant a discerning heart. This is him asking God for something, right? He's like, give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and distinguish between right and wrong, for who is able to govern this great people of yours? The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for this, all right? So he's like, all right, God, give me the gift of discernment. Right? I want to be able to know right from wrong. And God's like, all right, I'm really happy you asked for this. So God said to him, since you have asked for this, and not for long life or wealth for yourself, or have asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment and administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Okay, with that said, this dude is the wisest guy ever, okay? And we're going to be reading something that he wrote, So, with that being said, if he's the wisest guy and he wrote something and we're about to read from it, we should probably pay attention. So, this is a little more context. This is as Solomon was thinking about the meaning of his life and future. And here are some words that he wrote. Now, we're going to be turning to Ecclesiastes, all right, chapter 3. And here's what it says. It says this: there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So he talks about dying, he talks about tearing down, weeping, mourning, he talks about war, right? And none of those things sound like super fun things. Like if I could ask you guys like, hey, what are like the top 20 things you want to do? Those probably aren't going to be on there. But he makes it a point that even these uncomfortable and even sometimes these really painful things, they have a time and they have a place. And that's coming from the wisest guy ever. Right? So maybe we should listen to it. And I don't think Solomon wants us to completely ignore the pain and the slow or the uncomfortable things in our life. I really don't. I think he wants us to simply not wait for them either, all right, we're just going to wait for this bad time to end so my life can unfold and everything can be what I've always wanted it to be. Instead, here's what I think he's trying to tell us. All right? He's trying to tell us that we need to realize that every single bit of our lives has a purpose. And not just the good stuff, not just the bad stuff, but all of that collectively together is important. And I've said this before in small groups. It's been a while. If you've been in my group for a while, you've probably heard me say this, but we are the sum of our life's decisions, right? Everything you have ever done up until this point has made you who you are. You are here because of every decision you have ever made. Right? And when you think about it like that, you're kind of like, whoa, that's deep. And yeah, it is. You see, dying, tearing down, weeping, mourning, war, all this stuff, all the bad, all the good, that is part of our lives. So Solomon didn't promise God would make life better. He didn't promise that God would make life easier. He didn't promise that God would take away all of the uncomfortable stuff. He didn't say that everything was going to be perfect. Instead, Solomon said that God would make everything perfect in its own time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw up a video here, and it's just a quick little example. We're just gonna leave it playing in the background here, and it's gonna be a time lapse of flowers blooming here, right? You see, time is sped up on this video here that I'm showing you. But all these flowers took a lot of time to grow into what they were meant to be, right? It takes sometimes weeks, and there are some flowers that bloom once a year, right? It takes time and effort to see the beauty that God has planned for our lives. And none of these flowers are technically perfect. They're all going to have little flaws, but they're all still beautiful. And the same is true in our life, right? Life is not going to be perfect, and life is not always going to be beautiful. Challenging things are going to happen to us, right? We are going to make mistakes, and we need to be able to be uncomfortable in order to grow and to change. See, when these flowers bloom, it's really easy to celebrate the end result, right? To pick it, to give it to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or put it on the kitchen counter, right? But these flowers could really become everything that they were meant to be. They experienced long periods of waiting before they can get to that point, right? Because a seed can sit there for a long time before you put it in the ground. And it has to have the perfect conditions. It's got to have water. It's got to have light. And then it does this thing called photosynthesis, right? It does really cool stuff in order for it to get to that point. But my point is, it takes time for it to get to the end result. You see, and when it's doing that, even when it's barely noticeable, it's still doing something. Kind of like when you walk in a room and you're like, oh, I see a little green, and then you just don't think about it, and then you don't see it for a week, and you look back, and then it's like 3 times as big. It's like, wow, a lot happened in that time. Even if it doesn't seem like it, stuff is happening. So all that to say, today has value too. Even if it doesn't look like much is changing today, today has value. Now, there's another book in the Bible called the book of Revelation, right? It's not Revelations, it's Revelation. And this was written by the Apostle John. And it's interesting that we're going to be reading from this because the book of Revelation is generally not a book that you go to for like the here and now, right? Generally, you turn to Revelation when you're looking toward the future, when you're looking to see what is to happen. But it's not a book that people think about the future. So Solomon said that no one can understand what God has done from the beginning all the way until the end. But Revelation gives us a little bit of insights as far as like what God does have in store for us. So we're going to go there. We're going to go to the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verses 1 through 5. And it says this: "And then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away.' He who was seated on the throne said, 'I am making everything new.' Then he said, 'Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true.'" See, this passage is talking about God's plan for all of creation. And when I mean all of creation, I mean all of it, like including you. Like you are considered part of God's creation, right? All of us. And when you hear God say, "I'm going to make everything new," everything. Does it remind you of kind of Solomon saying that God's going to make everything perfect in its own time, right? God's going to make everything new. In our individual lives and in all of creation, this is something that God can do. Whether it's when life is less than beautiful, God has the power to make that new, right? When it's longing for something that you don't yet have, like we talked about at the beginning, you want something, but just not yet, right? God has the power to make it new then too. When we're waiting or we feel delayed, when we hit a roadblock or a stumbling and we're not sure, like, hey, what's going on? Like, give it to God because he can make that new too. When we're frustrated with our progress, that's something that, give that to God because he can make it new, right? The words of Solomon and John help us see that everything is a work in progress. Everything, all of creation, it is a work in progress. I can't tell you guys exactly what God has planned for you, right? Because I don't know that. There's no way for me to know. There's no way for you to know. How am I supposed to know if you can't know, right? But I can promise you this. If you give it to God, it's going to be something beautiful. No matter what God has in plan for you, it can only be good things. So when you feel like you're waiting for someday, right? When you're tired and you're frustrated of being told, not yet, don't ignore the uncomfortable, right? Don't just wait for the bad parts of life to end. Remember, today has value. You are a work in progress, and that is okay. Now, when we're talking about works in progress, right? I'm thinking, all right, we need an example. And there's a really common example that gets brought up fairly frequently, and that right there is this. It's the comparison from a caterpillar to a butterfly, right? We've all said it. So, like, I got a couple photos of caterpillars we're going to throw up here. Here's the first one. All right, most of you have seen this one. Like, it's a big, juicy one. Nice, thick guy, right? Let's go to the next one. It turns into something like this. Nice. We know this one is a monarch butterfly, monarch, tomato, whatever. Guys, I was a math major. All right, turns into something like this. Then we got the little fuzzy guy. Look at that. Probably poisonous. Shouldn't play with that. You're gonna get the little fuzzies in your eye, right? And he might turn into like a little moth, right? Nothing too crazy. And then I found this thing online. Look at that. Now, I have no idea what he turns into, but I imagine it's something like this, right? Look at that. That's going on. You got them little antennas on his head. Just some crazy stuff. But we like making this comparison. All right, well, if without God, I'm like this caterpillar, right? But with God, I can be this beautiful butterfly. But here's what we fail to do. We don't think about the middle section, what happens in the middle. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I got no idea what happens in the middle. What happens from a caterpillar to a butterfly? All I know is there's a cocoon, a little bit of magic, and then it's got wings. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happens. So I did a little research, all right? And you know what I realized? Things get weird, okay? So here's what happens. During the first 3 to 4 days, the crystalsis, which is like a little bag within the cocoon, all right? I'm gonna butcher that word, so I'm just gonna call it the sleeping bag, all right? So the sleeping bag inside the cocoon that this little thing had rolled up into is filled with a rich fluid. The cells use the fluid to grow and form a new body. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm following you so far, okay? But then I keep reading, it says, the change inside of the sleeping bag is slow and gradual. I'm like, all right, I knew that. It takes a couple weeks, And then I keep reading. The caterpillar's body digests itself from the inside out. The caterpillar is attacked by the same sorts of juices that it used in its earlier life to digest food. Okay, now, I want everybody to close your eyes. All right? We're going to do an imaginating exercise. All right? Imagine you are going into a really small little coat closet. It's dark. And then you take your sleeping bag and you zip yourself up, right? You good? You zipped up? Cool. Now sit there for 3 to 4 weeks as you digest yourself and you turn into goo. All right? All right, open your eyes. That is what is happening. That is what happens between a caterpillar and the beautiful butterfly. All right? Goo. I'm not lying. You can Google this yourself. Careful, but like Google it yourself. All right? That's what happens in the in-between. It gets weird. It gets messy. It gets uncomfortable. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar melts, like literally turns to goo. And if Solomon were a caterpillar, he'd probably be like, there's a time to be goo and a time to not be goo, right? Because guess what? You don't turn into the butterfly unless you go through the process. You have to go through the process. So I was going through the process. I'm running cross country. I'm going through the process. The first month and a half, I'm walking around. It hurts. It hurts so bad. But you don't get to the end of the season running your best times by not going through the process, right? That's something we need to do. And a lot of us might be looking forward to our dreams, and we're just ignoring the present day because it's easier and less frustrating when I know what's at the end of it. But maybe some of you guys are just like, I'm not giving any thought to what's happening later because I'm so busy dealing with this stuff, with this junk that is going on right now. I don't even have time. I don't have the energy to be dealing with any of that. But you need to be able to focus on the now and the not yet at the same time. We are all works of process, all right? We are all in that nasty, that uncomfortable phase before we get to our goals, before we get to what God really has in store for us. This is part of it, all right? None of us are perfect, all right? I know y'all think Mike's perfect, but guys, trust me, Mike's not perfect, all right? We went water rafting together. He's not perfect. But with Jesus, when we're in the process and we're becoming more of who God made us to be, it's okay. You're a work in progress. It's okay. Keep going. All right? So Joey's going to come up here in just a second, and I'm going to pray for you guys, and we're going to keep this conversation going in small groups. So let's do that. So, dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us this opportunity to be gathered together to learn and experience your goodness, God. Thank you for making all things new again, even us. Help us to not dwell on the past. Help us to focus on the now. Help us to focus on the not yet at the same time, God. Help us to get through this season of not yet and to realize it's not a bad thing, God. It's part of the process. God, thank you for all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen. Everybody give it for Steven! Yeah. Bro, listen, I know we get, shh. I know sometimes we kind of get caught up in the whatever, but he's spitting right now because I remember in middle school and high school, it was always, oh man, when I get my permit, oh man, when I get my job, oh man, when I can start driving by my own and I can, oh my gosh, when I'm 18, da 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 da. But the thing is, bro, no matter what part of life you're in, you're going to find those moments of not yet. You'll be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s of not yet, not this yet, not this. This won't happen yet. You have to wait on this. So what he was talking about is really important. You know what I mean? And it's also an awesome thing that we have a relationship with a God who actually cares when we're in the cocoon phase, when we're digesting ourselves, as Stephen was talking about. But that's an awesome thing. that we have a resource that we could talk to God while we're going through that. Now, listen, we're about to go to our small groups. First of all, make sure to pick up your trash. Don't leave any, trash lying around because, this is the house of the Lord. You know what I mean? We want to be good guests. So we want to do that first, but afterwards you're going to go to your small groups. If you don't know where you're going, just ask around. All the high school ladies, you're going to be together today. So, yeah.